So hi everyone, today I'm going to have a go at cooking carne con tomate, which is one of my favourite Spanish tapas dishes. For those that don't know, carne con tomate literally means meat with tomato. The meat traditionally is pork. Not a big fan of pork, I rather prefer beef. And I did actually manage to get some nice chopped beef in the supermarket the other day, which I froze and I've now unfrozen, which is why it's in a plastic bag. I've had a look on the internet and found various recipes for carne con tomate, and what I've found is that it's pretty much as individual as you are. So this is my attempt at it. One of the biggest things about it is that the meat has to be cooked long and slow. So this will be done in several bits. So I've brought a pan with some olive oil, my lovely olive oil, yes. Brought a pan with olive oil to heat, and I'm now going to, I don't know what the word is, braise, I don't know, but I am going to cook the beef on the outside until it looks cooked on the outside. I know, it all sounds daft and I'm not making any sense. What I have got out of the cupboard that I will be doing later, hang on, I've got my lovely vinegar carver, I've got tomato ketchup, I've got soya sauce, I've got Worcester sauce, I've got loads of herbs and spices, because that's what you do, you make it up. I've got some sweet peppers, need eating up, an onion. Most importantly, I have a tin of chopped tomatoes. I've got some mushrooms I'm going to throw in there, and a bit of red wine. But I'll go into more of that later on. Oh, and also I've got an onion. But I want to do this bit first because, as I say, what I'm doing is browning. Excuse me. Cheers. What I'm doing is browning my beef. As I said, normally, traditionally, it's done with pork. You have to get the right cut of pork, and my Spanish isn't that good yet. And this beef looked absolutely beautiful. I also have some old potatoes in my fridge that need eating up. So I'm thinking I'm going to have this tonight with creamy mashed cheese potato. You've got to love it. Right, so that is all. The meat is now browned. What I'm going to do now is throw in the tin of tomatoes, and I'm going to put a drop of water, and for those that don't know, that is a proper tap, not Spanish water. Some water in there to try and get all the tomatoey bits. This is actually a tin that's got courgettes, peppers and aubergines in as well, but basically the main ingredient in this is tomato, trust me. And that's all I'm going to put in there at the moment. I'm going to bring that to the boil, I'm going to turn it down, and I'm going, oh no, actually I lie, I'm going to let it simmer. I am going to put some red wine in there, and then I am going to let it, as I said, come to the boil, and then I am going to simmer it for at least an hour. It might be longer, and obviously I'm going to switch you off and bring you back when I'm at that point. Okay, you don't need to see it boil, you know what I'm doing, and I'll come back to you later. Yep, you're back quicker than I thought. I forgot I have to add the spices and the herbs at this point. So I'm going to add a little bit of my carver vinegar. I'm going to add a little bit extra tomato ketchup. I'm going to put some soy sauce in there. A little bit of Lime Perrins. So always makes anything taste better. Now I'm putting in mixed, let's do it on the bigger one, mixed herbs. I'm going to put a bit of ginger in, and I never thought I'd say that. I'm going to put a bit of basil in, basically I've emptied my herbs out of my cupboard. I have to be honest. I'm going to put a little bit of cumin in. I'm going to put a bit of parsley in. And this you won't be able to get. This is something I found in Aldi's that I rather quite like the look of. It's sort of a mixed thing. It's sort of got some spring onions. You can see I haven't used it yet. Spring onions in there. Hang on, let me put it on my hand and maybe about it. Yeah, it's got sort of spring onions and other bits in there, and I'm going to throw that in. I am going to put my onion in later, but if I put it in now, it's going to get annihilated. So that will, along with the peppers, will go in later. And of course, my OXO cube has to go in now. So I'm going to crumble that in. And I'm going to mix that all up. My mixture is now boiling. So I am going to turn it down. I'm going to simmer. And more importantly, I'm going to cover. So there we go, you can hear it boiling, and I've turned it down to the smallest one possible. It's electric, it will take a while. Okay, now I really am going to leave you for at least an hour. Okay, so, excuse me, let me get my wine. Right, so this has been bubbling for about an hour and a quarter. Cheers. And at this point, I have to say, that's a pretty good carne con tomate. That I would be proud to serve for Spanish tapa. But it's not tapa for me. This is going to be, can you see that? It's just a beautiful, it's just, I wish I could give you the taste of this. I think this is probably the best thing that I've cooked on video. It's just stunningly beautiful. This would also work well in a cook pot, I think. And I use one of those quite a lot. So this, at this point, as I said, is something that I would now serve in a bar as tapas. But it's my main meal. So I am now going to add sweet peppers, onions, and something I forgot to mention earlier, garlic. This is where I'm now going to make it bigger to stretch, well, more than one meal, that's for sure. So I am now going to put everything in. As I say, before this point, you can serve it. I'm now adding to it to bulk it out, to make it 2 or 3 meals for me. And I will need, stirring this in, I am going to need to add more liquid, and I am going to add a bit of water. Again, this is filtered water, not Spanish water. I'm going to add a bit of water to that. I am going to add a little more red wine, because I think that's what made that rather nice in the first place. And I'm going to bring that back to the boil, and I am now going to cook it even longer, because as I say, all the recipes I've read is you cannot cook this long enough. I'm going to bring this back to the boil, and I'm going to simmer this for probably another half an hour at least, I think, until those veg are well cooked. I am then going to mash up potato, cook and mash up potato. I'm going to add cheese to my potato, and I am going to have myself a beautiful meal. So I hope that's given you an idea of what to do with carne con tomate, and stay yeah, I saw my own face and made myself laugh. Stay safe, stay strong, stay sane.